I hate. Ugh.
What a way to start a show.
Ugh.
Oh, this is really not good. All right.
What's
Hey,
not
folks,
good? What's not? Oh, okay.
you starting a show regurgitating ain't good.
Ugh.
And when I say you, I mean,
The bold one.
hold on. You want your full frame or what?
Yeah, I
There
need
you
my
go.
full frame. The bold one, the cold one. John Colter Rice Lawson is here. Yes. Okay.
I'm Brent Leary.
Yeah.
All right. We're back. It's Friday. And
It's been a minute.
yeah, because last week, yeah, there was too much going on last week with Helene and we're kind of, at least in the metro, it feels like we're on the road to recovery. I know there's still some folks, there's some devastation, particularly the southern and eastern part of the state. There's still some of the folks, like I know somebody out in Savannah,
Yeah.
don't have any power, man. It's
I
like,
mean, I saw like a picture of someplace. I mean, it's like every pole is down.
damn.
I mean, it's like how can you can't even turn the power on because it would electrocute people on the street. It's just that
Damn.
it's like, oh man, they got a lot going on there.
Yeah.
Unfortunate, very unfortunate. We were
And
very lucky.
we were, well, I mean, there's some parts of the metro that weren't as lucky as like yours and mine, apparently.
Yeah,
So shout out to everybody. I hope everybody's at least on the road recovery. And then the county over next to us,
between
this
us.
between BioLab fire, and for the last week, I think this happened Sunday, and like every day since, particularly like at night, I get like a nightly Amber Alert saying there's the shelter in place. Now it's for the county over, but I mean, I still get these things. So between the hours of 7 p.m. and 7 a.m., there's like a shelter in place, and it's been going on the whole week. I think tonight might be the last one, but who knows?
Who knows?
So
Yeah,
weird things going on, man. We need some normalcy.
yeah, and on top of all that, we had you know, uh, the borders shut down, but
Oh,
that
well,
got
luckily that's
resolved.
bad. Yeah, thank goodness. I
I
mean,
know that was about to be like, damn,
yeah, people already running out, run on toilet paper again. I'm
they're
like,
so crazy.
come on now.
They're so crazy.
It's just, I mean, come on. Everything was fully stocked. There is no need for that at the moment. Thank God I think it's a tentative agreement. So,
And yeah, still until sometime in January. So
but you
hopefully
know
they'll
what? I
work it
got to
out.
ask you.
Yeah. Ask me.
Is this what a recession is? Because, economic numbers, let's see.
Oh my
Jobs
God.
report. It's like almost double what was expected. So it's 254,000 new jobs created. I look at the stock market. What do I see? Oh, all new highs. All new high. What unemployment? Down to 4.1%. Oh, inflation down to like 2.3 or 4. Oh, what about in the wages? Oh, wages are actually growing higher than inflation. All right, so I ask you again,
What?
is this what a recession feels like?
I don't know. Did you get any consumer sentiment numbers?
Actually, it actually is up. Consumer sentiment is actually up for the first time. Like,
Oh, that's awesome.
yeah. So once again, I ask you, because
Why are
you are
you
the
asking
one.
me?
Because you are the one.
I am the one. I am the
Not
bold
that
one,
way. Not in.
the cold one. John Colter Lawson.
You're the one always talking about.
I am not always talking about.
You've been like for the last 2 years. We in a recession.
No, you just need something to come up with in
Oh,
terms of topical, and then you bring this part up. It's not like I walk into the room talking about man, we
when he
need a
walks into the
recession.
room, you can
No,
feel the doom come
absolutely
with
not.
him.
That is totally
I'm
not
like,
me.
damn.
I mean, y'all saw they just saw my intro. Obviously, I am not the one.
Oh,
Obviously, I am the most optimistic,
people are
happy.
like, yeah. I
No,
mean, like, damn,
I
come
mean, look
on.
at my intro, then his intro,
Mine
and
is
then you
always
tell
consistent.
it
Mine is
consistently.
always steady as a rock.
"Urgh."
Steady as a rock.
But no, I mean, all indicators right now are firing on yellow. I can't say green. I mean, seriously, we've always, it definitely has been slow. So now that we got some indicators that are moving forward, that is positive. So I'll stick with the positives, but I'm not going to be like, yeah, it's
I don't
not
think
time to
that.
bust out the
Yeah, no,
champagne bottle.
I don't think it's ever time for that. But you know what? And I partly beyond you, I partially blame the media
Me too.
because they just want us to be on edge for everything so that
Yeah.
we have to go look at what they say or what they write or
Yeah.
what they're talking about. And nothing gets your attention more than negativity, you
Hmm.
know.
I wonder why that is.
I don't know. Well, you're Mr. Negative on this stuff, so why don't you tell?
I mean, honestly, like I said, man, this is the old school playbook. We're in an election year, and that is part of the playbook of an election year. You got to pretend like everything is doom and gloom because that's about all the message is for one of the candidates. He's got to come in and say everything is bad and it's just going to be bad. You see, it's bad. It's so bad. It's so bad, and you need me to come save you. And that's why we are in that
But
media
you're not.
spin.
You don't go along with that guy, and you've been feeling the negativity, so to speak.
It's not that I've been feeling the negativity necessarily, but I do feel, and I still feel there is a disconnect between what happens at the top of the market and what's happening on Main Street. And you can't look at Main Street still as a small business owner or talk to small businesses and get that same kind of rah, yay. It's just we're just not
Well,
feeling it. So what can you do?
let me ask you this, and this is a serious question. When it comes to stuff like business related stuff and talking to small businesses, is it almost sort of like a national or natural position to feel conservative about the economy and things like that when you're a small business person? Is that like your natural position, and it takes something very good to move off of that position when you're in a small business?
Um, I see where you're going with that.
Hey,
Uh,
Scott. Hey, Scott Wilder. Good to see you, man. It's been a while.
I don't think that's necessarily the case, but you do have to understand that many small businesses are uh, family driven small businesses. And so, in effect, they are doing enough to get their family through to the next phase. You know what I'm saying? A lot of small businesses are just startup, they're very micro. So I think there's always going to be this level of those that are starting up, very lean, trying to make it to the next level where they're, medium sized and moving forward. So yeah, I think there is some sense of that. Yes.
So let's talk a little bit about that then. And by the way, Scott Wilder, he's been a champion of the small business folks for years. I met him when he was at Intuit, it's like eons ago, but good to see him there. What does it take for a small business person to feel good and confident about the economy?
Well, I mean, you just have to just think about we've had a good 4 years, 5 years of uncertainty, and it's just there's uh, at unprecedented levels, in my opinion. That's in my opinion. I mean, we get hit with, the COVID thing for a couple of years. Then the recovery was kind of crazy. Then the shipments were kind of crazy. Then the inflation's been crazy. So I mean, it's
They got hit with a
definitely been
ton of bad news or challenges and
challenges. Yeah.
obstacles. Okay.
I mean, so it's not been like, smooth sailing for a couple of years now,
So
at
do you
least.
think, because of all that, and it did kind of happen all at once, it felt like.
Yeah.
So maybe it's the residual impact of that hasn't allowed small businesses to, because we've been getting some relatively good, positive economic information data for a pretty significant time. Not like over the top great because
What,
the
like
inflation
18
was.
months, maybe? How many months would you say?
Yeah, okay, we'll say that. We'll
About a
say
year and
about
a
that.
half, I'd say.
Yeah.
About, yeah,
Okay.
I'd definitely say that. And I do feel like there is, there's a lot of new businesses that are being started right now, and a lot of people that are onto great ventures that are, coming out of all of this turmoil. So I do expect, 2025. I really do, though. I'm actually kind of feeling pretty good about the future, the near term
Mm.
future. I really do. But I mean, this AI thing, it's running rampant. People don't. We ain't even. That news has not even hit yet. That news is not even. It's not even started yet in terms of how it's changing industries. It's
Oh yeah, we're at the first innings of that. But let me ask you this:
yeah.
Is that the answer? Is that the thing that's going to make small businesses
It
feel
might.
better about things?
It might, absolutely. It might.
Really?
Yeah, because there's so many. I mean, there's so many opportunities right now with AI for small business. A lot of the things that we do in our businesses, we can automate now that was very costly before. But I think it's just going to take a little bit of time for that to permeate through the system. But yeah, you're about to see some things, dude. You know, I mean, you go to these conferences, right? And you see all of the new um, things that they're adding on,
Mhm.
right? I mean, the ability to literally have something coded as an add-on to your system, which would take a really long time, are being done like that with AI. It's insane, dude.
Okay, I guess I'll play a little bit of the devil's advocate here.
Oh,
Um,
oh
and
no.
I couldn't agree more with what you just said though too. I mean, the beauty of AI and automation and the things that are just we're just starting to touch the potential of all that kind of stuff is good. I think it could help, particularly small businesses, because either they don't have the internal expertise or they don't have the ability to pay for what traditionally would be you'd have to pay for that, and AI and automation will help get things done that you need to get done, but you can't do on your own, or you just feel like you can't afford to. So I think those are the positives of it. And you'll be able to do things that you might not even have never thought you would be able to do. Um, with all that said, it also lowers the bar for everybody in terms of what can be done and what can be created. And whenever you lower the bar, and this is going to sound bad, but I think whenever you lower the bar for everyone, that means everyone can do the same things you can to a certain extent, which means that, we'll just take the example of a lot of people, the first thing they've done with AI has been to try to find ways to create new content so they can push it out and hopefully build their brand, or build an opportunity to engage a wider audience, which means that lowering that bar for you means it's lower for everybody, which means that at some point the mainstream small businesses and the mainstream people, generally speaking, are going to be pushing out a whole bunch of stuff that you're going to have to compete with. So you're competing for eyeballs now. As the bar gets lowered and people start to understand what this stuff can do, that means they'll start doing it, and that means there'll be more stuff, and that means you're going to have more people vying for the attention of the people that you're trying to get. And in the end, are you better off now than you would have been a couple years ago?
I
I'm
think
not
a lot
sure.
of yeah, I think a lot of small business owners feel that way, and I want to flip that script on them a
Okay.
little bit and just tell them it's really, it's not a zero-sum game for us, right? It's not like my customers were some other small business owners' customers. A lot of these customers now are being distributed from what were the enterprise level businesses. They're the ones I think should be a little bit more afraid of the ability of things being distributed across. And what I would think about as a example of that would be like the gig economy. How did the gig economy, change hotels with Airbnb? How did the gig economy change, transportation uh, with the Uber apps, right? That gave everybody the ability to be a taxi cab, or everybody the ability to rent out their space, um, uh, as opposed for short-term rentals. It's actually been a good thing,
Yeah.
for the individual, not a bad thing, but it's probably taken away from a lot of these enterprise level, hoteliers. Or is that how you say it?
Or influential social media people that are doing
Yeah, well,
Airbnb arbitrage.
we'll get to that. But I mean, yeah, but it's still an opportunity. It's I think it's the opportunity for all as opposed to a few. And I don't want the people that are part of the quote all to think that we're fighting one another. We're not fighting over crumbs up from the master's table anymore. We're starting to build our own tables, and it's going to be good.
Well, but there's going to be a lot of tables built, and it's great if you built the table and nobody else is building a table. But when everybody else is building a table, I don't know. I can feel the
Yeah,
anger
yeah.
around some of this stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. You're gonna have to actually add value somewhere in there. It's not going to be just enough. Hey, I thought of an idea, because once you do it, somebody else is going to easily be able to duplicate.
And I think, remember the first mover advantage thing.
Yeah.
I think it was the first mover advantage thing was very powerful in previous decades, but as technology continues to increase, and that first mover thing isn't as great as an advantage as it used to be, because I
Well,
think
no, it
people,
is.
I think people, uh it depends. If people are a little bit quicker to adopt, even if they're not first mover, but you don't have to necessarily be first mover. But if you're closer to the front than the end,
Right.
I think you actually have a better chance of being as good, if not,
Better.
exactly at the first mover advantage level.
Right.
But I think this technology, if you give yourself, open your eyes and really take a look at it, you don't have to be the first person to do a lot of this stuff. But
Nope.
if you're not the last person, I think you'll get certain levels of benefit. Now, I think you're gonna get even more benefit the further the closer you are to the front. But as long as you're not in the back, I think
Right.
you're gonna do all right, because this stuff is that powerful. I mean, these technologies allow you to reach so many people and it's such fewer time that I don't think you have to be up front, but you cannot be at the back of the table.
Yeah, I
That's
don't know. It's like the guy up front is the first one to get shot. So I don't know. You know what I'm saying? So, but I definitely want to be in the front of at the front of that pack for sure. I think there is, but you know what? I think the runway that it used to give you to be first mover advantage has gotten shorter. It doesn't mean that there's not an advantage. I just don't think you're going to have as long of an advantage before the others catch up with you. So, you're going to be constantly innovating. And I don't know where this all goes and how far. I know, but what I do know is, like, in the near term, there's a lot of opportunity, right? I don't know, 5, 10 years from now, maybe it is going to be a very flat, kind of experience. But right now, I think there's a lot that you can get done if you go and run hard right now.
So Alan, our buddy Alan Berkson, is saying Airbnb and Uber are bad examples. They dodged regulation, which caught up. Etsy and Fiverr are better examples.
Okay, either or. I'm not the example of the company. See, you're looking at the company. I'm not talking about the company. I'm talking about the opportunity that it gave the individual. So, yes, they did this, that, and the third, and people are trying to make laws around it. But I'm saying, just in terms of opportunity, when it's given out to the masses, it works well for the masses, and a lot of people start getting into the pie as opposed to just one organization or small number of people. That's what I mean. So,
All right, this is good stuff. So, before I know we're going to get into notebook stuff, and I know we're going to get into Airbnb arbitrage and all that kind of stuff. Here's something that really caught my attention because I believe this is a sign of the times. Let me see if I can pop this up, and I'll go big screen with this so people
okay,
can see it. All
different.
right. So, I love Seeking Alpha. That's probably the one of the few things I pay for that I actually think I get my money's worth out of when it comes to these services. So this article caught my attention. Salesforce rises as Baird makes it top large cap software. Now, for those who don't know who Baird is, it's not like Brent Baird or somebody like that. Baird is Google's AI stuff. So now, we're going to talk about the notebook stuff, but now we've got the Baird making stock picks, and Salesforce in the enterprise space is its largest large cap software pick. So we got the I don't know if what is Baird considered? Is it considered a large language model? Is it considered an AI agent at this point? Is it shaping up to be all the above? Oh, why have I got my cell phone here like this? Because this is a sign of the time, but I don't know exactly.
I've never heard
the sign is.
You've heard? I've never heard of it.
Oh, you haven't heard Baird?
I mean, I thought that was just
it's
Google's.
It's Google's AI stuff, and so it's now making large cap picks. Now I don't know if it's managing a portfolio or what you call it, but it's actually making and making it public that Salesforce is now their large cap pick. The AI is making large cap picks, and I don't know if we're going to have earnings calls where we're not going to be listening to humans at some point. We're going to be watching or listening to AI agents do this stuff.
Okay.
It's just like things
I
that
thought Baird was like some sort of like equity fund or something. Is that different?
I thought Baird was Google's.
No, that was BART.
I thought it was Baird.
Is that what you was thinking about? The BART?
I thought it was Baird.
Oh, okay.
I thought it was all of a sudden now we got these things making.
I'm like, dude,
I was like, wow.
Baird, I don't know.
Yeah, you're right. It's BART.
Okay.
I was like, damn, BART is making.
BART making large cap picks.
Oh man. God, what are we going to next? All right. So I just completely misread that because I was like, oh my God, now I'm gonna be listening to earnings call because we got that notebook thing now.
Oh, okay. So it got you shook.
So and I'm telling you, we can start talking about this because I think it is one of those interesting things where and I think it's been around. Google Notebook itself has been around for a while. But
Notebook LM.
The thing that has captured a lot of people's attention recently when it comes to that is they've added this capability where you can take what's in your notebook and you can load up PDFs or you can type in stuff and all that kind of stuff. But what it'll do is it'll take all that stuff that you upload and it will create a podcast style conversation based on your content or whatever content you throw at it. And I'm glad Alan is here because Alan was one he shared. He took his LinkedIn profile, downloaded it from LinkedIn, fed it into his Google Notebook, hit the generate deep conversation or deep discussion, I think is what they call it. And it sounds like they're talking about you. It is two people right now. It's a man and a woman, and they're having, and it sounds like a conversation, and it's based on the information you feed. I know you play with this too.
I don't play, bro. I'm serious about my shit.
Okay.
I'm serious about my shit.
Yeah.
I'm using Notepad. But honestly, I mean, I've been serious about it for a minute, using it to take stuff and distill it down.
This is what Notebook is gonna try to shoot for, Alan.
It is not. Yeah, I can prove it because it is not a male and a female.
And we don't sound like them at all.
No.
Damn it.
Yeah, right, exactly. In there. And I don't let him talk. So obviously, it's not.
I mean, look, I fed my LinkedIn profile and, I think I created like a 7-minute conversation or something. But the thing there's two, I don't know if I can talk about the one because I'm under NDA, so I'm going to stay away from that. But what I did, and I talked about this earlier on the small business thing. I love reading, I love access to transcripts from these companies when they're presenting at conferences. So I think there was like either Morgan Stanley Technology Conference or one of those, investment firms. So they have these technology conferences where they invite all these folks that they're invested in, like the CEOs of these companies, to present on what's going on in their space and what they're doing and all that. So I took presentations, and they're all in PDF form. Presentations from NVIDIA, AMD, Microsoft, Dell, and maybe one other. So I downloaded the transcripts of their individual presentations at this conference, fed it into Google Notebook, hit the generate button, and what it did, it created like this 10-minute, really substantive conversation that sounded like regular human beings talking about the stuff that I fed it, and bringing out key points and, saying what company is doing what part, and they kind of strung it together so it actually was cohesive and made sense. And that all happened within a span of like 3 or 4 minutes. And I know eventually I'm going to get tired of hearing the same two people talk about whatever. So that's going to change at some point. They're going to give you the flexibility of making it sound like you won or whatever. But just the thought of, remember, like we were talking about, like, I forget what that Google technology was called like 6 years ago when they first brought it out, where they had
that was Bart.
It wasn't Baird. No, I'm just kidding. So, and it freaked everybody out back then,
right?
Partially because you could kind of tell it wasn't a real person if you talked to it long enough. Now you listen to this stuff, it's so much more authentic than it was years ago.
So here's what I've done with it, right? Is like, yeah, right. I've taken like there's these deep research papers from scientists that are in the AI world, and they talk about these concepts that they've, are developing or have, been discovered with AI, and they're very technical, right? But I'll take that and put it through this, and then have those two go back and forth, and they dumb it down really enough so that I get the understanding.
I mean, you even understand it? Now that's
okay. How dumb it gets. I'll give it to you on that one. But I mean, it's so the ability and the technology and what we can do with this moving forward is really exciting. It's pretty amazing, and to have it in this natural language conversation of two people, it really gets you, it brings you in.
Yeah, it does.
More than just one person, expounding on it. Just like, our discussions are better than, well, at least it's better than your discussion alone.
Okay, yeah. I was waiting to see where you're going at.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, if you think about it, it gives it, and it does bring it from two unique perspectives. Like one will say something and the other one will think about it like, that's a good point, and then he'll move on from that. So it's a generative conversation. And have you ever redone the conversation?
No, I haven't done that. Like fed it through again to see how it changes.
To see how it changes. It's a whole different conversation.
Really?
Yeah.
Now that's interesting.
Yeah. So it's kind of crazy, man.
Yeah, I mean, and it's very straightforward, and if you already have a Google account, you already have Google Notebook access, basically.
It's Notebook LM, though. You got to make sure they tell you.
Right. Yeah, exactly. But if you already have a Google account, you go to that address, you're already kind of logged in. And then it's very straightforward. And this is all I did. I fed it a couple of PDFs, and then I hit this deep dive conversation thing. And like I said, you wait a couple of minutes and you get some stuff. I mean, you get a really like I said, I'm still on the
Well, you know
fence.
what? Leave that up a little bit
Oh, okay. Hold on a second.
because I don't want people to miss these other parts. So just below that, see where it's got suggested questions. Those questions are fielded from the content as well. So it's like, what are the key skill areas of expertise that
Yeah.
Brent brings to the field of CRM? I love those kind of questions too. And then, where it says help me create on the left hand side, it's got FAQs, study guide, table of contents, right? Those are, you just press that button and now you've got a document that comes out that's based on the content you fed it. And it doesn't have to be one piece of content like Brent is saying. He brought multiple pieces in and got one compiled output. It's really powerful, man. Really
It's powerful in so many interesting ways because, like you said, some of this stuff can be very dry. I mean, like you feed it like transcripts from a very deep dive into some technology, not the general. Gen AI is great, but like the innards of how some of this stuff works. Most people are going to glaze over,
right.
but you feed it that kind of stuff. And what happens is you get kind of the highlights, but in a format that is very easy to understand and consume. And that's the power of, because like like when you're considered a business analyst, part of your kind of the power in that role is you can speak techie and you can speak business and you can translate for the pure business people and the pure techie people, because we all know they do not speak the same language. And so that role of the person who can speak both languages is a really powerful role. Now this thing is doing it for you basically, and it does it in like a couple of minutes, and it's a conversation. It is a very powerful paradigm when you think about it like that, I think.
Yeah, and I mean this is just the tip of the iceberg. So this is like he says, the experimental model. I can't wait to where you can give it different personalities. So I could have, uh, one viewpoint versus another viewpoint and go back and forth like that. It's a whole new world. It's going to get rid of, a lot of
People.
regular podcasts. Yeah, absolutely. Now, I'm not going to say it's going to get rid of, but it is going to challenge some of those. There's going to be some podcasts that'll probably come out of this new world that will definitely rival old school human podcasts.
So this is where I go to the downside of a lot of this kind of stuff, because it's all of a sudden we're gonna be hearing all sorts of, oh, here's a new podcast. I mean, there's already a lot of people
Already
podcasts.
I mean,
I will be damned if I hear some a new. Well, I'm gonna hear it, so I'm not. I don't want to be damned. There's gonna be so many more podcasts being launched because it's gonna be so easy to make. Because now you can just feed it stuff you've heard from multiple. It doesn't have to be your stuff. Here's another problem. A lot of it will not be the person's stuff who's going to launch the podcast. They're going to be good aggregators.
Yes.
And I don't, and so we're going to get regurgitations all over the damn place. I mean, there's going to be some negative consequences of this stuff.
But is it positive outweighs these negatives? I mean, that's okay.
Does it really? All right, Alan is saying garbage in, garbage garbage out, I guess. Or is it? I don't know. Yeah, it's going to be, everything is at scale, and that points me to the question: is, aren't we going to have too much to deal with?
You already have too much to. How do you have? You've got a plate that's overflowing right now,
and the plate is not getting bigger, folks.
Okay, so I mean, it really doesn't matter, does it?
There's no such thing as artificial attention yet.
If your cup is already full, running water doesn't matter.
No, but unless they give us some artificial attention, which allows us to expand our attention at scale,
I think there is that. This is a tool that helps with artificial attention.
It makes our attention more efficient the way, because it shrinks down the information to a more consumable. But at
Yeah.
some point, we just can't. It could be some great stuff out there. We can't watch or see or read all the great stuff that's out there, right? That's why,
Right.
why everybody is saying content is king and all that nonsense. You know what's king today?
Retrieval.
Filters.
You know
Filters
what?
are king.
Okay.
That's what
Okay.
king.
So
Filters.
that's what I
Filters
was
are
going
king.
to say. Filters, and I'll go on just on that same. I was saying retrieval. So it basically, here's what we're like. Do you have a hard drive? How big is your hard drive?
It's kind of a personal question, isn't it?
How big is your hard drive?
Depending on my laptop, I think it's a terabyte or something like that.
Okay. And do you have any other storage space?
Oh Jesus, yeah.
Okay, where like how much would you say?
If I added up all of my little things, probably
Yep.
50 terabytes.
So you just think about that, right? You don't have the ability to consume all of that information, but you still have it.
Yeah.
You're never going to be able to go back and get it. However, with these kind of tools, you will be able to do that retrieval that you couldn't even do before. If we could bring all 50 terabytes of that stuff into something like this Notebook LM, and then you say, hey, I'm getting ready to write a paper on XYZ, it can bring in all your 50 terabytes of research and narrow it down for that paper. How valuable is that going to be for you?
You know what? I don't know how valuable it's going to be for me personally, but I know where the value is really going to be for. It's for Google, because we're all about to load all of our stuff into this thing. And what feeds the AI? Data. And so Google has found once again another way. We're already sending lots of Gmail. We're already doing all our searches we're already doing our browsers in Chrome. And now we're about to load everything that we want to talk about into Google. My God, they have done it again.
I don't know. I don't know if they know that they could maybe be on the verge of doing it again.
I think they got to know.
I don't know. I like I said, they rolled this thing out with no fanfare. It wasn't like there was some big Google announcement and we're going to have this new voice mod inside of LM. I mean, LM was literally nobody talked about it, but all of a sudden, overnight, this one thing made all the trade mags talk about it, and suddenly it's out there.
Well, there's a cool factor that goes around with it, because hearing those people talk, it does sound like two human beings. I ain't gonna front. It did, and that gets people's attention, and that gets people like you and me and Alan and many others to say, "Oh, what will it say about us in our LinkedIn profile? Oh, what will it say about this and these transcripts and these?" So Google, you know what? And this might be the most effective.
I don't think they didn't know that though.
Come on, there's some smart people, man. Come on,
they are, but I don't think they had assumed that it was going to be the thing that puts Google back in people's mouths when they're talking about AI. Just think about it, bro. I mean, 6 weeks ago, we were like, where's Google at in the AI world? We don't care. OpenAI, right? Now, all of a sudden, Google's back in the conversation. This is getting exciting again.
Well, because one thing you could say about Google that, they struggle with certain things, like the hardware kind of stuff and actually selling, actual tangible devices and things. But they some smart people when it comes to actual
absolutely
services. I mean, let's face it, even with the OpenAI and ChatGPT, of course, it hasn't even 2 years, and what they've done is tremendous. But let's not forget the foundation of communication is email and texting and searching and using our browsers. And there's a huge more people use Android devices than iOS devices. They still own the shop. And now what they are doing is, even for those things that weren't created on their shop, they've enlisted us to help them gather their data, their unstructured data. So this to me could be even more diabolical than some of the other stuff they've had done.
Well, let's see if they pivot enough fast enough to really take advantage of this new. Because I mean, hey, how long is it going to be before you know OpenAI and Anthropic copy this?
I'm surprised that
Model.
they didn't jump on this before Google, because they've been one step ahead of Google when it comes to this stuff.
Yeah, but I mean the back and forth two voices, nobody was doing that.
Nah, and it's such a great way to draw people into whatever subject that's going on. If you're interested in a subject,
Yeah.
would you rather read about it in some white paper or some transcript, or would you rather listen to a very, not only an informational conversation, but dare I say, kind of fun? I mean, the way they approached it, it made you feel like, oh, this is cool.
Why, before we get out of here, we should let people hear it.
Can I know I got the WAV file?
I mean, can't you just share the screen and play one?
Oh, okay. Let me see if I can do that.
Just so people can understand what we're talking about. Because
Yeah.
I mean, that changes your whole perspective.
I just got to make sure, because I ain't playing the wrong one, because that will get me in trouble, because that's under NDA.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah,
I know people in jail for NDA. Oh, that's not baby oil. Okay, but go ahead.
Okay, you just
come on, for real?
I wasn't really listening. So
oh, okay. I'm about to say I made a baby oil joke. Give me a break.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Let me just walk away from that one. I don't have it. I have it saved.
All right, let me
see if I got one.
Just push the play button.
Play the WAV file.
No.
No, I can't. All right, I'll share and let you
just share. Let me.
All right.
God.
Because I don't have mine up and running.
Okay, that's fine.
That's
fine. Let me see.
Alan is being volunteering that we could play his.
Oh, that's cool. Here we go.
You got one?
Yeah.
All right.
What I got to do? Present, don't I?
Yeah.
Present, share screen, and
make sure you have the audio thing clicked so we can hear it.
Oh, okay. Where's that at?
I think there's some.
Okay, yeah, it says also share. Yeah, it's got it. All right. I think we're good.
All right, I'm sharing it.
All right, you see me, and so I go back into my notebook guide, and I got to hit load. Takes a minute to load back up.
I wonder why it takes a minute to load it back up.
I don't know. I guess they don't keep it in the main memory.
All right, so everyone's promising they could 10x your productivity with AI, right? Automate your way to the beach, and you're left trying to figure out if any of it's real.
Yeah.
And then boom, Make with John lands in your inbox.
Of course.
So is this the one?
That's
what we're diving into today.
We're gonna find out.
See if it's the real deal.
Or just hype.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
this whole AI Authority Alliance thing is interesting.
Oh yeah.
It's like they want it to seem like this exclusive club, but does that actually mean it's good?
Right.
That's what we're gonna see.
There you go.
And that was all from you. What was that about your LinkedIn profile? Or is that something else?
No, that was me uploading the content from a landing page.
Oh, okay.
Which I listened to the conversation, really helped me understand where there were areas in that page that I could make it even tighter. Right. So they a lot of things they were saying, I would have never even thought about, but you see how they go back and forth, guys. It's awesome.
Yeah. It's like two humans having a conversation,
a podcasty.
Yeah. It's such a great way to take in information compared to particularly, like I said, some of this stuff is just
they just added boring. The playback speed. I don't remember that being there.
So now you can play it back in double time or something?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can go up to double time.
All right. Net. Because I think this is great. I think you could do some really interesting things with it. But on the flip side, once this gets out to the masses, oh my God, I think we're going to be hearing all the same style of conversation over and over. And see, that's when I start to tune out. So what's the shelf life on something like this?
What do you mean in terms of person? I mean, for me personally.
Yeah, you personally.
I mean, I take this. I make my own little podcast now in the morning, so I can listen to something that's educational.
But
So,
that's
I like
you.
that.
That's another way for you to consume information.
Right.
I'm talking about most of the people that are going to get their hands on these are the kind of the guy like the Spotify and the Amazon Music who are trying to create stuff.
Oh, they're going crazy already.
Yeah, and that's where I think they're going. I won't even say the majority of people are going to be like that. I'm going to say enough people are going to use it like that it's going to irritate the hell out of me, because we're going to see people popping up podcasts left and right, and they're all going to sound like the same damn conversation, and that's going to make me tune out from this stuff, because my attention wanders quickly when I hear everybody doing the same damn thing.
Yeah, but I don't think that's the limit of what we've got right now is not going to be just limited to, hey, here's a 6-minute podcast on a document I downloaded. That's, I mean, you got to extrapolate way past that now. It's like, where else is this going to take us?
I totally agree with you, but I'm guessing the masses of the people
who
their only objective is to try to scam or to try to get out there and get their brand, just throw stuff out there. They're not worried about going to the extreme links of what the potential is. They're focused on, okay, what's the minimum amount of work I can do to push out a whole bunch of stuff. I almost said it.
Yeah.
And
you can say shit on this show.
And that's where I think a lot of the focus is going to be, because, you internet marketer types, the only thing you're worried about is how to push your stuff out there, your brand.
That's not true.
So that's
not true.
So that's why I think that those kinds of people, they're not the overarching mass, but there's enough of them that they're going to be spreading all sorts of stuff out there, and it's going to get irritating at some point.
Yeah, I mean, it already is that way with other things. So, I mean, that is just going to happen.
Alan is asking, where was the prompt?
Exactly. That's the key.
Yeah. What was the prompt? Know that's coming. You know that's coming.
Somebody is going to figure out the prompt.
Re-engineer and get that prompt out.
Re-engineer, yep. And once they have that, and with like the new OpenAI models, I think that is going to be really valuable.
That's going to be unlocking Pandora's box.
Yes, the beast will be unleashed.
Because the smartest people are the ones that are going to be searching for that. And once they find that, oh my God.
Yeah.
I'm telling you,
I'm working on it. I'm working on it already.
Well, I'm not worried about you. I'm saying the smart people that.
Oh, okay. Well, smart people. Yeah.
Where are all the Colder Iceaholics today? What do you give them the night?
Well, yeah, I mean, hey, we haven't been around in a while. So
no, that's true. We took.
You know what? Actually, that's true. You know what? I didn't post this to the group. I totally forgot.
You left your people out?
I left my people out, and it's already 6 o'clock. So
yeah, it's too late for this week.
That's screwed. they're screwed now. They're gonna have to watch the replay.
All right, quickly, let's just touch on the Airbnb arbitrage influencer story, because to me,
I love this.
I detest it with all my.
Why? I don't get why.
It's just a greedy grab from people I really don't like too much.
It's people are. Oh my God.
Are they people?
Oh my gosh. What? I mean, look, they rented an apartment, turned it into an Airbnb, and made money. What's the harm here?
That wasn't supposed. They aren't supposed to do that. That's the harm.
All right. Well, that's fine. All right. If there's a contractual,
if they want to do stuff like that, buy your own property and then rent it out.
Yeah. Well, that's the funny thing about this is that these folks are not really laying down anything but,
Oh, they were bragging about it. She was that one influencer was bragging about, I don't have to put no money down. Look at all this money out. I detest people like that. I'm sorry. Yeah. Can't deal with it. Yeah. They're bragging. Other people who spent their money buying the property and they call themselves renting it out. And like I think maybe it was Leland or maybe it was Shashi. I think it was Leland. people are renting it out to the influencers under the guise of they don't want Airbnb. They're like, look, we don't want all the properties in our community being Airbnb where people keep coming in and out and in and out. Yeah. So they think they're renting it to somebody who's going to be there for like a year or 6 months.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't. Can you imagine having like Airbnb people coming in and out of your hallway every day?
And you know they'd be trashing the place and you know not taking care of it.
Parties. You know, it's not going to be the same quality of a tenant that you would normally have. There is some issues to that.
And then you find out these people are bragging about what they're doing.
Did you put the story up?
I don't know if I still have it up. Oh, do I have the
you had the little
I think I had a little cutout.
Just so people know what we're talking about. Yeah. But basically, people are doing Airbnb arbitrage.
Oh, wait a minute.
That's mine.
Right. Yeah, so it's not they're calling it the Gen Z side hustle.
Well, Business Insider called it that.
Yeah, and it did get my attention, so it worked.
Yes, it sure did, didn't it? So on TikTok and Instagram, Airbnb superhosts brag about subletting their rentals and making millions in the process.
I mean, and they are bragging about it, man.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, well, we don't have to put a lot of the money down.
Well, that was part of their story. I'm sure they asked.
I hope that gets out there and people are like, forget you. Because to me, once again, I'll go to bat for their followers and their subscribers. It really feels to me like they're taking advantage of their subscriber base, you know.
I mean, their subscriber base is subscribing to hear about the hustle.
No, yeah, maybe to hear about it, but not to be a part of it. Like, you know,
that's the only reason why they have a base.
Well, no, wait, we leave it out the other part of this beautiful thing.
Yes,
they're creating master classes,
showing other people how to do it.
To see how they can fleece people. You know,
oh my gosh, why?
I do not like that.
Is it a fleece? They're making money.
Buy your own properties and then do this. That's the way I say it.
Okay, well, I mean, if they're able to lease or rent a property and do it, that's still a business.
Let's put it like this. I bet the language in these lease agreements are about to change now. Let's put it like that.
Yes, I can definitely see, because the more they brag about it, the more it gets out there.
It infuriates me, and I'm not even involved in the damn thing.
But I mean, you got to stick up your butt about everything. Anytime some influencer does something, you're just
not any influence. Some of them I actually like. There are some,
one or two,
like what's his name, Marquez Brownlee. I really appreciate what he does.
Yes,
I can't see him making a move like this. I could be wrong.
What if he had a course?
It would be a legit course.
Oh, okay. So it would be okay for him to tell you how to get free technology stuff by doing reviews. That would be.
I think he would do it in a legit fashion. Now, not everybody is going to be like that.
But would it be a fleece?
It would. Well, I don't know how much he would charge for that. I don't know.
You know what? You can't call it a fleece just because they're teaching what they know.
No, it's not. Well, first of all, they're going to teach people to try this, and like I said, the language in these leases are not going to be the same as when these clowns did it. So when they try to do it, so they sell their courses based on what they did, and the language, it's not gonna work, people.
Soon. I mean, you got to, again, remember how we talked about being the first in the front of the pack? If you still got time to be in this front of the pack, if you're at the back of the pack, you're gonna be screwed.
You still got time to get that fleecing in before the language.
It's not a fleece.
A fleece.
It's not a fleece. These people are paying for temporary rentals at a premium price.
They're playing out their noses. The blood is coming out.
I'm sure it's in great areas around great events, and it is what it is.
Yeah, like that.
I'm sure there's people right now in the Atlanta area getting ready for, the big soccer game, doing the same thing right now, buying up properties just so they can flip and lease them.
Well,
I know they are
buying up properties or
buying up. These are probably not. They're probably not doing the rental thing.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, as long as they're buying it, cool.
But you just think about it, man. I just drove past a rental. They just built some rentals around the corner from me. Guess how much they start at? Rent starts at They call it 2,500. Call it luxury rentals. But I'm like, who in the hell lives in these places?
That's like twice my mortgage.
I know. I just don't understand Gen Z. But hey, let them do what they do, man.
No, and what they do apparently is arbitrage Airbnb hustling.
Maybe that's what it is. It's just an Airbnb hustling.
These
Airbnb
damn hustlers. Anyway,
it's pretty dope. It's pretty dope. I like it.
It's something. All right. Anyway, we've reached a little after the hour.
A little bit.
I was
actually
only
55 minutes in. So.
Oh, that's right. We got started a little late. Yeah. Anyway, there's so much going on. You know what? We didn't even talk about the presidential election.
Oh, good. Much love to Alan, man. Thanks for joining us. Yeah, I don't even want to talk about.
You know what Alan is? Alan is a minch.
A minch.
Yeah, minch. Am I saying that right, Alan? I hope I'm saying that right. A minch.
What's a minch?
He's a good guy.
Oh, okay. Good guy.
He's happy because the Mets are winning. That's
Oh, okay.
He's a Mets fan.
There you go.
He deserves his time in the sun because the Mets,
Minch. Okay.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. I think I was saying it right. Okay. Yeah.
Yes. And that means a good guy, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. He's a stand-up guy.
There's too much going on in the world right now. We don't need to talk about it.
You know what? And I'm getting ready to go to San Jose for the Zoom. Now, this is going to be interesting. Maybe I'll come back with some good stories.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah, because this is the first time I get a chance to go to Zoomtopia out in San Jose, California. I was thinking, this time of year, San Jose, it's going to be nice. You know what the temperature is out there?
In San Jose?
It's like 100 and something degrees out there right now.
I mean, what is the normal temperature?
It ain't that.
It ain't? You sure?
I got an updated weather report from.
But I'm saying, is that not normal?
No, well, I was going to say I got an updated.
Sounds like the desert to me.
San Jose is in the desert.
It sounds like. Well, if all of California was a desert,
it's not that far from San Francisco. It's not that bad. No, but by next Tuesday, according to Sandy Lowe, my friend over at Zoho and my weather correspondent, apparently, it's going to be like 75 or 80 degrees.
Yeah.
By next Tuesday. Earlier this week, it was in the hundreds. It was like 105, something like that.
Okay.
Crazy stuff.
Hey.
Anyway, I hope to come back.
Excessive.
I hope to come back with some really cool information.
Yeah, I'm sure you're going to find a lot of Zoomaholics.
Okay.
What is it called?
It's called Zoomtopia.
Oh, okay. Zoomtopias. I'm thinking of Zoho because you said Sandy has a holics. Okay. All right.
So are you around next Friday or what's up?
Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe.
Actually, you know what? I'm not.
Oh, no.
Yes. Next Friday is Pride weekend. I might be here 5, but we'll see. But, that starts the Pride weekend for us.
Are you guys going to, what is that, downtown Atlanta?
We're going downtown. I got friends coming into town.
Oh, wow.
There's a big parade on Sunday.
Okay.
I can't wait. This is my weekend. I can't wait. So
I
don't know. I don't know if I'll be around at 5, but we'll see. I'll let you know definitely within the number of time. So
within the number of time. Well, thank you.
Yeah, within a proper amount of time to let you know if I can do the show. But
all righty.
I plan to be turned up already. So
all right. And thanks to you, Alan.
Thanks, Alan.
Weekend. And we will see you possibly next week. Maybe the week after that. Just stay tuned and find out.
Yes.